In this morning's Waste Watch, a new report is showing that wireless consumers in the United States continue to face excessive tax burdens, especially when you look at how much less tax we pay on other goods and services. David Williams with the Taxpayers Protection Alliance joins us this morning with more. Good morning, David.
Good morning, and this is really frustrating because wireless is how we communicate with each other these days, and the national average of wireless taxes are 17%, but you know, it gets worse for Maryland and Baltimore because Maryland has an 18% wireless tax. So just owning a wireless phone, you pay 18% in Maryland, but Baltimore is highlighted in this report for 25% tax. Now think about that. If you're paying $50 a month in a wireless bill in Baltimore, add 25% onto that for no other reason than just a tax.
And Baltimore's not the only place, right?
That's right. There are four other cities. There's Chicago, there's Philadelphia, New York. So you see these big cities that have really added these extra taxes. And what they do is they do this for general revenue, is they're trying to fill budget holes and budget gaps in other places. So they go, you know something? Everyone owns a cell phone. Why not hit those people? Because they're not going to notice. They're not going to get rid of their cell phone. So let's just hit those folks. And these taxes are a lot more, as you said, than other taxes. Look at the sales tax in Maryland, 6%. Imagine if the sales tax were 18%, if it was the same as wireless taxes, people would be revolting in the streets. The gas tax is only 13%, so this is completely out of whack. And politicians and bureaucrats do this because they know they can get away with it. A lot of people, that's all they have is a cell phone. That's all, the only way they communicate is through wireless. So it's a huge cash cow for governments.
So is there anything being done about it all?
Well, there's actually legislation in Congress to stop these wireless taxes, to say there's a moratorium that you can't raise wireless taxes anymore, to really give a timeout. I mean, when a kid acts bad, you give them a timeout. So when these state and local governments are acting poorly, we want to give them a timeout and say, listen, don't raise any of these taxes for 5 years.
And here's the real frustrating part about it. And you mentioned this a little bit, but the fact is people more and more are doing away with the landlines and relying solely on cell phones and tablets, etc.
Well, exactly. I think it's, what, 42% of adults now, that's all they have is a cell phone. They don't have a landline. And think about this, is that a lot of lower income people depend upon wireless. I think it's like 30% of low income people, all they have is a cell phone. So you're really hitting all income levels of this. You know, poor people can't afford 20% or 25% in taxes. I mean, they're just trying to make ends meet, and we're talking about a couple of $100s a year in taxes for no other reason than the government said, hey, we just want some more money.
So frustrating. All right, David, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll have to see how it all unfolds. Thanks again. It is our duty to hold our elected officials accountable. And if you have a story about government waste, call our hotline 410-662-1456. You can also log on to our website, foxbaltimore.com, and click on Waste Watch.